was here last Saturday, Success, and he performed with a bunch of people, and he wanted to come back again. And he's going to talk to you guys about a song he wrote. He's going to talk to you about work ethic. He's going to talk to you why we put toys in our pocket. There we go. And he's been doing this for a while. So I'm going to introduce you guys to my man, Monteasy.
Alrighty. How's everybody doing today? Everybody good?
Really great.
I'll tell you a little bit about myself. And I got a question before I get started. How many people here believe in themselves? Raise your hand if you believe in yourself. Okay. I'll get back to that at the end. Give you a little bit about me. My name is Antoine Lewis. Monteasy is the alias, but you can just call me Antoine for this. I am originally from New York. I was born in New York, and I've been down here.
There we go. Oh, I'm sorry.
I've been down here majority of my life. Linked up with my man Marcel over there, who was like a big brother to me, my manager. And I want to give you guys a little speech real quick about work ethic and believing in yourself. But before I get to that, October, this past Halloween, what were you for Halloween? What was you last Halloween? Nothing? You wasn't anything for Halloween? Or?
I was Darth Vader.
You Darth Vader?
Darth Vader.
What about you?
Random Swap. This
That Halloween? What are you doing, man?
February.
Okay, what are you back there?
And
Any adults? Nobody dressed up? Nobody dressed up Halloween? I got you. You get adults paying your bills a lot of times is your costume, man.
You don't need to dress up too rich.
My Halloween, this past Halloween, I was spent actually in the hospital. I had a what's called a TIA stroke, which debilitated my whole right side. I lost feeling in a lot of my limbs, lost feeling in my face, and due to high blood pressure, I could not move a lot of my right side for close to 48 hours. So I was sent to the hospital this past Halloween. And during this time, and this correlates to what work ethic means and how it hurt me and how it helped me. While I was in the hospital for that time, I sat back and I had nothing but time to think. I'm a musician, so I'm constantly on the go. Constantly on the go. Didn't really take time to take care of myself, and I lost confidence in myself of just a few months ago and didn't believe in myself because of me being in the hospital for that week and losing so much weight. I lost so much time with my family, and I'm very, very lucky to be here right now because it definitely wasn't in the cards. When I was in the hospital, they said, hey man, most people that experience this have a 10 to 15% chance of fully recovering from a TIA stroke. Hopefully you guys, as you guys grow older, you guys never have to experience this. But there's a 10 to 15% chance of full recovery. As of last week, when I got my last checkup, I'm 97% recovered. So I've actually almost fully recovered from the ordeal that I had. Now, what does that have to do with believing in yourself and work ethic? For me, being a musician, I've been doing this since I've been 13 years old. I'm turning 30 in June, so still very young to have experienced that. But my work ethic, a lot of times comes from my family and my father and my mother and seeing what they've gone through. My mom moved me to Florida when I was very young. My dad, I always had a good conversation with my dad, but my dad wasn't really in the picture. I'll speak to him through the phone because he was in another state. And through this work ethic and me putting my time in, music was all that I had. Growing up in a household where it was just me, my mom, and my younger sister, I didn't really have much of an outlet. I was struggling in school. My grades weren't the greatest. I was having a lot of trouble as I was growing to become a young man. And music was all I had. Music was really the only outlet that I had to be able to express myself and to be able to speak to people. And I wasn't the most popular kid in school. I wasn't the guy that had all the friends, and I wasn't the guy that knew everybody. I always was to myself. I'd come home from school, I would do my homework, and then I would come into my room and write music. I would learn music. was before you guys' time, but I know the adults here know. You used to have a cassette tape, and you put the cassette tape inside the radio, and sometimes you could record songs on the radio through the cassette tape while the song is playing live on the radio. So that is a lot of how I ended up learning the music, was I would record the songs while they were live on radio and playing back on the cassette tape. Luckily, you guys have a lot of things digital where you guys can just plug things in. You guys didn't have to go through that hassle, but I did. But, you know, that was my love for music. And, you know, growing up, I'd see my mom work 2 jobs, 3 jobs. And my father did what he could out of state. But a lot of it had to do with me coming up and coming in and watching my mom put in so much work, watching my grandma put in so much work. And that's where my work ethic came in. So as I was sitting there as a young kid listening to music, I recognized that this is what I was going to give my life to. This is what I was going to give my life to, and to be fully prepared in that and saying, look, I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens to me. And I'm going to continue to push through, and I'm going to make this music and do what I love to do. How many of y'all love music? What's some of your favorite music? Who you like?
Well, I don't even have to be a rapper.
But it's like songs. What songs do you like? Don't have to be a favorite rapper. None? But you know you like music.
Yeah, I like rap music
You like rap music?
and hip hop. Yeah. The rapper named
What's his name?
Kid Cudi.
Oh, Kid Cudi. Yeah. What song you like by him? I like Kid Cudi a lot.
Dinner.
Okay, how did you first hear him? I gotta ask
I was just playing a video game and I turned on the radio.
you. And you like him? That's good. He's pretty good. He's pretty solid. Who you like?
Michael Jackson.
He's the greatest, isn't he? He's the greatest. All of us grew up on Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is the obvious GOAT.
Lauryn Hill.
Oh yeah, that one. All she needed was that one album, bro. That was all she needed. But she didn't need anything else after that. Definitely great. But to get back to the story, my time and being very young, watching my mom work these 2-3 jobs, I actually found the love for music and to be able to put my time and my effort all into music, because that was all that I had. And as I've gotten older, I've really sat back and thought about, okay, what is gonna be my purpose? You know, as you guys get older, you're gonna start figuring out what do you want to do with your life and where you're going to imprint and make your impact. What is something you want to do? Firefighter?
Detective.
Say that again, excuse me.
Detective.
Oh, detective. Wow. Yeah, I like that. Any idea yet?
I like it.
No? Anybody else know what they want to do when they grow up?
Oh, wait, SWAT.
So I want to be
Be a policeman.
a police officer. That's what's up, man.
Archaeologist.
Wow.
Say that word again, man. I didn't think I heard it correctly.
Archaeologist.
Okay, I thought you said that.
That is cool.
That's pretty cool. Anybody else? No? Any idea?
Data, what do you want to be?
Basketball?
Yeah, and
The Warriors.
or marine biology. 'Cause I
Marine
like
biology?
the water.
Some good careers. You guys chose some good careers. Luckily for me with the music, this has been everything that I've wanted to do. This has been everything that I've put together. So when I was 17, 18 years old, I performed on my live stage for the first time over in Seminole, Florida, a few miles away. And that has been my thing. That has been my rush. That has been what I've put my time into. A lot of people who are artists, you know, we're creators, so we're constantly thinking. And we're putting our time and our effort into what we love to do. Putting this work ethic into what you love to do, whether it is an archaeologist or marine biology, or whatever it is that you want to do, you just have to realize that it takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. Me as an adult, as a young adult, as I reached 30, I've just learned how much I've put into what I love to do and how much sacrifice that is taken. And as I said before, not being the most popular kid in class or not being, you know, the most sociable kid when I was younger, I had nothing but to think and to use my mind to put everything into what I wanted to do. And that came with a price when I was in the hospital for those 7 days in October, because of not taking care of myself and to letting things that was outside of who I was and what I love to do affect me at that time for being in that hospital for that week. But as said, ever since I've gotten out in October, I've really sat back and thought about things. I'm glad to be at the Visible Men Academy because it gives me a chance to speak to the young men and women and to let you guys know that, you know, with work ethic, anything is possible. With belief, anything is possible. And believing in yourself. Believing in yourself is the first thing. And people's like, oh, you know, believing in yourself is this or that. No, you really have to sit back and instill it in your mind that no matter what, I'm going to get where I'm going to go. You know, luckily, hopefully we do it with the right morals and with the right benefits to get where we have to go. Some people don't have the greatest morals to get where they have to go. But if you do it the right way, you treat people the right way, you do things the right way, you'll be able to get where you want to go in life. Me as a musician, I go up and I perform for people once or twice a week. I make music for wrestlers. Any wrestling fans in here? Anybody, or am I alone? Any wrestling fans? No wrestling fans? You, who you like?
And
You like The Rock?
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson? What you back there, young man?
John Cena.
Oh, okay. So you currently watching? Okay, I see you.
I'm old school, Macho Man Randy Savage.
That's what I was working on. That's what you at. You know what I'm saying? That's we here, bro. That's what I was working. Stare on stare. Yeah, buddy. Rey Mysterio. Okay, pretty cool. Yeah. So what I do for a living with my music is I make music for wrestlers. So when a wrestler comes out, you see him on TV, or if you see him come out and you go to a local show, that's what I make music for. I make music for those guys and girls. So that is my niche. That is how I found myself. There was two things I cared about when I was a kid: wrestling and music. That was it. There was nothing else. I didn't have the gifts to be an NBA star. I didn't have the, or tall enough. And I didn't really put the effort into getting into sports and things like that. The one thing I cared about, I had my little wrestling figures and I had my tape recorder with my music. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna put this together. And for these past 4 years, I've been performing all over the world at wrestling events, whether it's Seattle, Washington, Sarasota with Marcel, going to New Orleans in April, and I'm gonna perform at these wrestling shows. When a wrestler comes out, I'm more likely in front of him rapping his music, or I have my own little set during intermission, me and a live band, or however it works. That is what I put my work ethic and my time into. I put my time into putting my wrestling and my music together. And you don't hear many people doing that, but that is just me and how I've been able to profess and create my lane and what I love to do. Now, that doesn't mean that it doesn't come with any side effects or anything that can hurt you or that can harm you. There are going to be distractions along the way. There's going to be people that are telling you you can't do something, that detractors, maybe a lot of people don't believe in you. Sometimes you might even argue with your own family as you get older about what you want to do. But it's all about you figuring out what is best for you and who you are as a person. I'm 30 years old and I battle with my confidence each and every day. I'm a grown man and I go through it. We're all going to continue to go through it. And we're all going to have to pick up the pieces and move on and say, look, no matter what, I'm going to get there. So that when I sat back and I started saying, okay, I'm coming here Saturday, I'm going to speak to the young men and women. What am I going to call this? And I said, pick up the pieces. I'm going to call it pick up the pieces. Because from being that young kid in my room, just writing music and playing with wrestling toys, to becoming an adult now with kids myself, and my oldest is 8 years old and my youngest is a year old, what am I going to leave behind? What am I going to leave behind them? How am I going to take my confidence and my issues and what I go through and make it better? How I'm going to take these health concerns from being in the hospital and help make this better for me? So I sat back and I finally said, you know what, I'm going to pick up the pieces. I'm going to go around and I'm going to talk to people about picking up the pieces. When everything breaks down. When I was doing this wrestling music, I was at my highest in October. And then October, I just looked in the mirror and I saw, you know, I was slurring my speech and everything just, my whole right side was numb, couldn't feel anything. And all of it just came crashing down, just like that. I took my health for granted. I took time for granted. I took a lot of things for granted that I shouldn't have at that time. And just being in October to get here to where I am now, I'm blessed to be here to be able to talk to you guys, because the first 24 hours in the hospital, I could barely even feel my whole right side and I could barely even speak. I couldn't remember my birthday. You know, I could not remember my birthday. And the doctor, while I was in the hospital, the doctor said, man, you're entirely too young to be here. You know, you're entirely too young to be here. You have to change your life. So as of October, you know, not only did I lose 25 pounds, not only did I, you know, get a better relationship with my children, but I started believing in myself again. Because during that time in that hospital, when I was in that bed for those 7 days, I lost everything. And I had to pick up the pieces and learn how to believe in myself all over again. I've done one performance since then. I've done one live show since I got out of the hospital in October. And I've really just rebuilt myself and rebuilding myself to now in April, I finally start my touring again and get back where I'm at before, like where I was before, just with a better mindset, with a better improvement and better chances to know that, you know what, no matter what's gonna happen, I am going to get here. Now, I'm going to, question?
I got a question for you.
Sure.
Do you have a song that you wrote that fits exactly what you go through?
Yes, I was actually just about to get that, thank you. A song called ACH I wrote for a wrestler out of Texas. He hit me and he said, I need something inspirational, but I need it not only to reflect me, but something that you're going through in your life. And I said, okay, no problem. So I sat back and I wrote this song, and it's been one of the more popular wrestling songs that I've made, but it's a life song. It's a wrestling song, but it's not. So I'm going to close this out by rapping some of these lyrics to you guys, and then I'm actually that question that Dan asked at the very beginning. So it goes. I've been beyond the struggle. I'm addicted to hustle. Make a problem to win till it becomes you on this paper chase. Defeating the enemy, call me ACH. This passion has been my pedigree. And this life is essentially, my mood is different. I've been grinding from the beginning to late, it's my new position. Told I never make it, they told me I'm never winning. Never balance yourself if you always deal with the critic. Overcome all the destinies, overcome all the obstacles. Play the game to win no matter who is doubting you. We overcome, troublesome, take the numbers, overrun. Success is my legacy, and I'm quoting them. Hold it, son. I'll be damned if I'm moving in past ways. Wrestling with the struggle like it's my last days. Started from the bottom, made it now to the top. From the office to the lots, know the motive will never stop. That is part of the poem and the rhyme that I wrote for ACH. That is the essential lyrics of how the song goes. So now I have to ask that question once again. Raise your hand if you believe in yourself. That's what I like to see. I thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
Hold on 1 second, Mr. Monteasy.
Sure.
Does anybody have any questions or anything that they want to say about what
Yeah, let's have some fun now. All the serious stuff is done. Let's have some
Anybody
fun.
go ahead, Eric Sanchez. What do you want to say?
How long have you been writing music?
Good question.
15 years. 15. Since the first song I ever recorded, I was 17. The first song I wrote on paper, I was 15. I've been doing this since I can remember.
So how much before you were 15 were you writing stuff down before you realized you were starting to write music?
That's a good question. I had no idea, dude, what I was doing. I had no idea. I had no structure. I was just writing stuff, listening to music, man. You know, we go buy the CDs, listen to the music, and it just became a part of who I am. My cousin is I don't know if anybody here is familiar with it, MC Light, rapper.
That's your cousin, man?
That's my older cousin, yes. So that is yeah. So that's how I started my writing process. Sir?
Yes, sir.
How did you go from musician to
Say that again.
How did you go from musician to rapper?
How did I become from like a regular musician to a rapper? Well, you know, writing songs is really my strong point. I do play a little guitar, a little bit. I'm not great at all, but I'm working on it. And I am writing songs has become my strong point. So really vocalizing is really how good it is.
songs did you write in your career?
Sure. How many songs did I write in my career? There was a time where I'd write like a song a day when I was in high school, but then like I didn't, I'm in high school. I wasn't living no life. I didn't know nothing. But now, if I add it up, I can say maybe 1,000. Because I used to write a lot. I have notebooks and stuff. Yeah, so it's a lot of music I have. I'll get you next.
How many songs did you write for wrestlers?
How many songs have I written for wrestlers? I actually keep count of that. Right now, if you add, there's certain wrestlers, if they're like in a tag team with somebody else, and if there's one by themselves. So I don't count separate outside of that. So if you add that, I can say right now I'm at like 130, 131. Over 4 years.
You're 32 years old.
How old am I? What?
32 years old.
Am I 32? I'm turning 30 in June.
He said he wrote his first song at 15.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
turning.
15, okay.
Yeah, so it's been 15 years.
So that means you're
29. Not far from it, but life goes fast, man. You'll be 29 before you know it.
I have
Hold on, wait. Then, let's ask you this question.
Two questions. Do you like record like your videos like on YouTube?
Yes, I do. I have music videos. I don't know if you're familiar with. I don't know if you're familiar with the wrestler or not. But I'm shooting. There's a wrestler named Mankind, Mick Foley. I have me and him are shooting a music video together in June. I have a song I wrote about him, and me and him are shooting a music video. He's coming down, and we're gonna shoot a music video in June. He's a pretty known guy. Look him up.
Yeah.
Have you ever like performed like real like big wrestlers like John Cena?
I have, what's happened is I have connections to them. So what that means is like, I might do like a certain instrument or something for them, maybe one of their songs WWE related, but a lot of it has just been on my own, traveling around. There are a few people that just got signed to WWE that I've done like things for, that just got signed. They're not huge yet, but they're on their way up. So eventually I'm getting there. It's just gotta go through the ranks to get there. But I'm almost there.
What was your first time to find a passion for singing?
First time, I can honestly say, like, a lot of my inspirations come from outside of just hip hop music, so it's like a lot of inspirations, but I could say maybe like I was 12, 13 years old, listening to different bands, rock bands, Run DMC, Aerosmith, you name it. I was always a big fan of music, so I can say it started when I was a teenager. You back there, man?
Is it possible to get a couple of these guys to go through that performance with you if you have a local?
Oh, like to get like if I were at a wrestling show?
Yeah.
Say no more, I can do that. That's nothing, we can do that. I was like, I'll make a phone call. We can do that, we can set that up.
I don't even think you guys understand what coach just asked for you. Some of you guys look at me like, what did you say? What coach just asked is if he has a performance with any wrestlers in town, coach just asked if you guys can go watch him perform at a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Oh.
If I can find a way to incorporate some of the students, yeah. If I can find a way to incorporate the guys into it as well, you know what I'm saying? We can definitely do it. Definitely do it. I'll make a phone call, man. Some
They
good
were
local.
looking around like, they didn't know what to say.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
All right, how about one more question? Anybody else have one more question? You have a question too? All right, we'll do two more questions. We'll do Elijah and then we'll do Eric Sanchez. Elijah, what's your question, man?
How do you get there
How do I get where?
to the wrestling?
How do I get there to the wrestling show? Man, a lot of times I drive. I have some of the wrestlers. I drive a lot of the times, man. I just get in the car and go.
Practice.
Man. Drive a long way.
One question.
Sometimes I fly too. I'm playing.
All right, Eric Sanchez. Last question, man.
Have you ever wrote any songs for basketball players?
Actually, that is a good question. And I was actually going to bring that as a good question. I'm actually transitioning into other things besides wrestling because there's only so much you can do for certain things at certain times. So I am going to transition into athletes. I'm thinking about doing something for Kyrie Irving pretty soon because that's my favorite guy in the league. So probably carry everything. I'll switch to basketball and football teams and stuff like that, and switch to wrestling and perform at football events and basketball events. So yes, I'm definitely transitioning.
So, last one, have you came up with a special song for BMA?
Ooh.
There's a pressure.
Oh.
There's a challenge.
Hold on, can you ask that question one more time? Say it one more time. What'd you say?
Have
What?
made a special song for BMA yet?
Say no more. If you want me to do it, I'll do it. If you want me to do it, I'll do it, man. Say no more.
All right. Well, we gotta leave you with something, right? So I need somebody who, he asked the question twice, who in here believes in himself? Raise your hand if you believe in yourself. Like really high? Really, really high? All right, Daniel, man, you got it. Daniel, can you go up there with my man Monteasy? And can you lead us in the school creed, man? Can you do that? You have to ask a question though, man, to get started. Can you do that?
Okay.
You gotta be brave though, man.
Who are we?
We are BMA sons. We shine for ourselves, our families, and our communities. We show selflessness by esteeming others higher than ourselves. We are honest because the truth will make us free. We show integrity even when no one is near. We are nice by being patient and kind to one another. We show excellence and are proud of everything we do. Shine on, shine on, shine on.
Good job. Man, thank you, Jeff. You guys clap it up one more time for me. And then, who's ready to play some basketball?